Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. If you need a roof, you call Parish. Ooh. That works. There we go. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. And Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. Use the code MAT15, 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 MAT15 for 15% off your order. Okay, y'all. Good morning. Not the greatest day for your New Orleans Saints. Houdat's fall to 0-2 on the season. They lose to the 49ers 26-21. Can't say it's a tremendous surprise. San Francisco's defense still elite, even in spite of some of the personnel they're missing on offense. Mac Jones still has 50 career starts, like we talked about. I did not anticipate seeing Mac Jones look like Joe Montana. 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, quarterback rating of 113.1 for Mac Jones. It's the first time he's thrown for 3 touchdowns and no picks since his rookie year. So, some of the things the Saints improved on that we wanted to see: fewer penalties. They were flagged 16 times with 13 accepted a week ago. This week, they were flagged 7 times for 45 yards. Still not good, but cut that number in half. Wanted to see some contested catches. We did see that. Juwan Johnson, beautiful touchdown catch on the pylon. Same for Devon Vele, contested touchdown reception. On the touchdown drive at the end where Vele scored, Olave had a contested touchdown, contested catch on the touchdown drive. So there were some nice things in the game. Alvin Kamara ran really well, 21 carries for 99 yards. Juwan Johnson had a couple of key drops. Blake Group, he missed a 40-yard field goal, which, brother, I mean, you're a pro kicker. How much longer can you sit here and watch this guy miss chip shots? I mean, it might be working out kicker soon. I mean, he was so good. He was like flawless during training camp. He was flawless during training camp, and now he's missed one each of the first 2 weeks. And short range kicks too. So, you're not going to win either of the next 2 weeks. You're not going. You're an 8-point dog at Seattle, and you'll be a bajillion point dog. At Buffalo the following week. Yeah, so Groupie last week missed a 37-yarder, and then this week he missed a 40-yarder. Like, come on, dude. That's got to be automatic in the NFL. Anyway, all right. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Facebook. Like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us as always. We'll say some good mornings here. I got to add all the tags. I'll do it later. All right, we'll say some good mornings. We get rolling here. By the way, we're taking Drew to the doctor this morning. Regular checkup. Every 6 months, he sees a neurologist. So we have to go to Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital to see Dr. Shaw, who's outstanding, by the way. So we got that this morning. So I don't have to race out of here like right at 7:15 today. So we might go a smidge longer. And There we go. Boom. Okay. Hey, Christian, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Tiger Diver, good morning. Brian Wynn, Weston Weaver, Brad, what's up, man? Good morning, everybody. Robert, is there else I've caught you? Forgot about the new time. Yeah, man. So with this school year, with Drew starting school earlier, I got to drop him off at 8 a.m. So we're 6:45 to 7:15 is our new morning scone slot. There are exceptions if he's not in school or weekends, stuff like that. Hey, Bubba, happy Monday morning. Great to be a Tiger fan living in Florida this week. I bet so, man. Stat Dove, you can ask BK about this week's fall. Maybe after the press conference, right? Like normally I can get him on a kicker after the press conference. Like when I asked him about the fall at Clemson, something else I asked him. Anyway, it might depend if he's in the mood after what happened Saturday night. So I've been thinking about how I'm going to phrase a question because you got to ask about the offense. Like it is the thing to ask about. The fact that he went off the way he did was so out of character for him too, just in our dealings with him. I haven't talked to Cobble. I called him right after the game. I was like, "You okay?" He was just kind of laughing it off, but I haven't talked to him since. You know, all the reaction, and everything. But hey, Abner, good morning. Cody, when do we panic about the offense? So, Cody, I said post game on Whiskey and Wine, said it on Locked On. I'll say it today on AFR. The next 2 weeks, I think, will be very telling. And you can roll your eyes and say, well, then you're going to say that. No. So I can make an explanation. I have an explanation for why the offense has looked the way it has so far. You went on the road and played Clemson, really good defensive front, very disruptive. You were intentionally careful, had your strategy, win the game. It worked. Okay. And by the way, you had a good offensive day. You remember you ran for 100, sack adjusted, you would have run for 150 yards. And the Barry and Brown thing would have counted. Nuss would have, that and the Bauer show would have thrown for almost 300 yards. The score would have been better. Anyway, you were in an obvious letdown spot against Tech, and they played with an odd front, and we all know whatever, okay? We can all hand wave that one. And then this week, you played Florida, where, all of last week, like the entire week, I talked about Braylon Moore and the Florida defensive front, like all week, because they wrecked the game for you a year ago. And I think it was clear they were not going to let that happen again this year. So Garrett Nussmeier had 3 pass attempts that went 20 yards in the air. 3. For context, last year when they played Ole Miss, they hit 16. Okay. Like it was very, and I think Brian Kelly's comments after the game was like, we did what we had to do to win the game. I think he was telling you without telling you, like that was their approach. Okay. All right. This week you play an FCS team. Like if you can't lean on them, you've got a problem. And then in 2 weeks, you go to Ole Miss, and Ole Miss just gave up 500 yards to Arkansas. 300 passing, 200 rushing, 35 points. Arkansas controlled the time of possession, yardstick, first downs, all of it. That Ole Miss defense is not good. If you go, they lost all the guys from a year ago. It's one of my concerns about LSU next year. Is you go ham in the portal, you add all these guys. Well, then when they're all gone, what are you left with? And that's what Ole Miss is dealing with right now. They lost their 5th-year senior quarterback and all the great defensive talent they brought in via the portal. So you want to know what LSU is going to look like next year? Have a glimpse of it. Ole Miss is a pretty good indicator, unless if you do something dramatically different. But anyway, all that said, the next 2 weeks. If in the next 2 weeks this offense doesn't get going, then I'll be with you to say got real issues. Because the next 2 weeks there are no excuses. Those excuses don't exist the next 2 weeks. Ian, good morning. Do you think A&M made a statement? At least the Chiefs are 0-2 also. Yeah, I think A&M. That's a really nice road win, man. I'll remind you, I had my order of finish in the SEC, LSU, Texas, mostly because of their schedule. Georgia, Texas A&M, 4th, Bama 5th. I thought this was the year that A&M finally broke through from their 8-4. I only have them at 9-3, but I thought they broke through. Hey, Christian, here's to a blowout for the win for the Tigers. Build some offensive confidence, quiet the haters. Christian, I don't know that I would label them haters, and I know it's we're probably just talking semantics. I don't think people are haters. I think people want to see this team win. They recognize you have a championship caliber defense and everything you need to be really good on offense with skill positions. The other thing Kelly said, and I'll say this again. Do I have this? Oh man, which one was it? The thing he said in his post game. Which one was it? Hang on. No, it's not what I want. He was asked about Garrett Nussmeier in his post game. I'm going to play this one for you because I think it's an important here it is. Okay. So, I often say coaches will tell you, like, they will have a message they're trying to convey through the media, through press conference. And a lot of times when they're asked an open-ended question, whichever way they go, they're telling you where their mind is at. Or sometimes when they're asked one thing and they answer it another way, they're telling you what they're prioritizing. So Kelly was asked about Garrett Nussmeier. Remember, the question was about Garrett Nussmeier in the game. The question was about Nussmeier. Listen to the answer.
I thought he did some things better. Obviously, the interception can't happen. I mean, we've talked about it enough, and I'm not going to beat him up here. And he knows. We got to take care of the football. And the way we're playing offensively, we have to be smart, right, and take what the defense gives us. We're in field goal position there, and we got to get 3 points on the board in that situation. So piecing it together. Remember now, we had 4 NFL draftees off that offensive line. 4 guys that got drafted in the NFL. I don't know if anybody really knew that. These guys are working hard to get better. I'm with them every single day, and I watch them, and they're going to have to get better. There's no doubt. But they're committed, and we're going to commit to them, and we're going to keep working with them.
The question was about the quarterback. Half of the answer was about the offensive line. Like, all throughout that press conference, I really wish y'all would go watch listen to my Locked On from yesterday, because I did a bonus Locked On where I went through Brian Kelly's entire press conference. And in every one of his answers, he effectively confirmed what Cobble was asking. The offensive line, how they're going about winning. They got to get better. They have to improve their run blocking. They got to be better running the football. They might do some power eye. Like, all the things that he could have answered, that he could have said right at the chute, instead of blowing up on Cobble, he answered throughout the press conference. But anyway, that's interesting, right? Whenever when he's asked about the quarterback and then spends half the answer talking about the offensive line. So all that to say, like, you're talking about quieting the haters. I don't think it's necessarily haters. I think it's people who recognize you got a senior quarterback, tons of talent on the offensive side of the ball. They got to get the offensive line going. I mean, it's the thing we talked about all throughout fall camp. It's the thing everybody knew was the biggest weakness on this team, and that's persisted. My PFF episode is live today. Hat tip to Paul Mabenga, a dramatic improvement. You'll see when I go through the numbers, a dramatic improvement from a year ago against Florida, where he gave up 6 hurries and 8 pressures a year ago. His grades were 45 overall, 33 against the pass, 45 against the run a year ago. And on Saturday, he was your highest graded offensive lineman. So major hat tip to Paul Mabenga. He was challenged. He responded. That's awesome. Weston Davis and Josh Thompson did not have great days on the right side of the line. And really nobody had a great day run blocking as we go through those grades. But they got to get better, and you have time to improve throughout the year. Hey, Tiger Poppy, good morning. Patrick, good morning. Here's hoping y'all have a great day. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you. Brian, not sure there's anything with a reporter asking about LSU's running game. Why the overreaction from BK? Yeah, I mean, that's I know a lot of people have said, maybe the most disappointing thing I saw Andy Staples tweet that he agreed with Brian Kelly for doing that. And, he said the question was fair, but it can't be the first one out the chute. And I don't know, man. I've tried to explain this before, and I don't know if Andy's ever been on a beat. I'm not trying to criticize Andy Staples. I think he does a really good job. I don't know that Andy's ever been on a local beat, a local market beat. I don't know. He played at Florida, and I don't know what his career path has been otherwise. But when you go into a post-game press conference, and I've explained this before, so sorry if you've heard it, you have a very small window, and that is specifically intended for the people who are telling the story of the game through written word, pictures, videos, audio, all that stuff, to get the perspective of the people who participated, to get their perspective on the game as you're telling the story. So that's why there's immediate post-game press conferences. Like if you're going to write an article, a column, a game story, if you're putting together a package for the news, you have to hear from the people who are involved to help tell the story of the game. And so you have to ask questions that are relevant to that game. And so Andy said maybe it's something that could have waited till Monday. I'm like, how could you tell the story of the game without asking about the offense on a day where the defense had 5 interceptions and the offense scored 13 points? I mean, that is a very integral part of this game on Saturday. It has to, that question has to be asked. I can't, and I wasn't there. Y'all know I was not there. But I'm the type of person that if that question wasn't asked, would have criticized the media in the room for not asking the question. There's some things that have to be asked, and it's not comfortable sometimes, but it's your job to go ask the question. And it doesn't matter if it's first out of the chute or fifth out of the chute, because there's no guarantee you're going to get the mic, and there's no guarantee someone else is going to ask it. Hey, Kelly, good morning. Matthew, good morning. Michael, Matt, do you feel like LSU's offense is overcomplicated? It would complement the defense if Sloan simplified it. Yes, I've actually said that for a couple of weeks now. I've had that conversation here. I do think some of the pre-snap penalties, some of the wasted timeouts late in the play clock are a result of a lot of the motions and a lot of the eye candy that LSU is doing. Yes, I do think that. And there was some simplicity to that final play, the Caden Durham run, where you had Bauer Sharp and Jack Pyburn, but as a fullback and an H-back, 2 lead blockers. Pyburn has a beautiful kick out, and Sharp sets the edge, and Caden Durham hits the hole, and he runs for 51 yards. I mean, there's beauty and simplicity, and Nussmeier went under center, and I know I mentioned before, but Hester's talked about this often as a running back. He always preferred his first step to be forward instead of sideways. It's one of the differences when you're under center in an I formation as opposed to being offset, where your first step is lateral instead of forward. Yes, I would like to see that. And that opens up play action and opens up a lot of things like deep shots. And yes, I would like to see more of that. Will we? I don't know, but I would like to see more of that. Morning, Matt. Could be worse. Ask Nico how UCLA is doing. UCLA fired Deshaun Foster yesterday. I don't know that anybody could have been surprised by that if you watched his introductory press conference a year ago. And you might say, well, what would a press conference show you? Well, in a profession where coaches are so meticulous down to the detail, Deshaun Foster went up there for his introductory Big Ten Media Days availability and winged it. Didn't know what to say. I mean, was completely unprepared. You're unprepared for that. You're going to be unprepared for a lot of things throughout the course of a Big Ten schedule. So you go get waxed by New Mexico. Yeah. Yeah. Nico is probably not doing great today. Hey, Chance, Brian Kelly did his best. Herm, you played to win the game. He did say that. I mean, I think he said you played to win the game. Excuse me. Thomas. All right, hang on. I think I do need to go stop Drew's backpack. Hang on 1 second, y'all. Let's do this. Thomas.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Oh my God. Have I really been sitting here for 10 minutes with no audio? I've been sitting here for 10 minutes with no audio. Oh, man. Oh, man. That, friends, is why you wear your headphones. What do we do? Y'all just read my my lips. It was definitely not 30 minutes with no audio. Okay, maybe it was 30 minutes with no audio. Wow. I can't believe that many of you stuck around. Well, not the whole show. It could have been the whole show since the jingle. No, like it's definitely been 30 minutes because I get up to stop Drew's backpack at 7. And that was a few minutes after 7 today. And I've been sitting here with my mic muted. Oh my God. Okay. Yep. Peyton Houston commits today. He does. I mean, what an amazing group of people. Either that or y'all got nothing to do with your life that y'all sat around and watched me talk in silence for half an hour. Oh, did I really do that? All right, Stat Dub, I want my third down question answered again. All right, what was your question? What was your question? I remember talking about third down. I don't think there was a question though. I think it was just about LSU being at 40 something percent on third down. Mm-mm-mm. Man, that's something. Okay, like what's your question? Stat Dub. Like I get they're I looked it up. Their LSU is 57th in the country at 41.46% of third down. What's your question? I mean, I'll wait. What's your question? Man, if I knew all y'all wanted was just a quiet, I would just turn on the stream and walk away. Yeah. So I don't have notifications on the text line. So I just got to see it in the comments, or I just got to, or have to wear headphones. You know, like I need to just wear headphones. I just need to keep a headphone in, and now I'm not. So I will see or hear that and now I'm not, and I could hear it. So I just have to wear my earpiece. Okay, I got to get Drew. I got to get going. I got to get Drew up, get him dressed. We got to go to the doctor this morning. Anyway, so it doesn't get muted automatically, Brad. I was clearing my throat. If you remember, like before I went, I was clearing my throat so y'all don't hear me clear my throat. Somebody complained that I was hicking and hawking and gagging a lot on mic. So I try to be mindful, like muting myself on my soundboard whenever I did that. And so I muted myself when I cleared my throat. Then I got up, I played the jingle, got up to go pull with Drew's backpack and came back in here and never unmuted the mic. That's what happened. Right. Can you give us 45-second spill on your experience with Gary Brecka's health screening? Did you get the whole family screened and tested? Yes. And so Gary Brecka has what's called it's not his. I mean, he 10X Health offers one, but you can get the test anywhere. It's called a genetic methylation test. So the premise is that they test for 5 common gene mutations. And if you have any one of those 5 common gene mutations, your body does not methylate raw materials into the usable form. So to explain that, like the analogy is, you can't pull crude oil out of the ground and put it in the gas tank. It has to be refined into the usable form. So same thing when you take in a raw material, when you eat something, like you eat a carrot, your body has to refine that into the usable form. It's called methylation. Well, most of us have one of or some of 5 very common gene mutations that don't allow us to properly methylate certain raw materials. So even if you're taking supplements, it doesn't matter. Your body can't convert those supplements. So you need what is called a methylated supplement, something that is already in the usable form of the thing that you're deficient in. And so many of those things he argues, are the core basis of a lot of the health issues we have. So that's what I did about a year and a half ago. I tested Drew, Erica. And so I supplement for my deficiency instead of taking supplements just to take supplements. I know exactly what my body is deficient in genetically, so that way I can supplement for deficiency. So that's one of the things and the test is not cheap. The test is like $500 or $600. You could probably, like, if you don't want to pay that out of pocket, you might be able to find like a physician that'll do it for you. Your health insurance plan may offer that through something. Like, I would look into that. But again, it's called a genetic methylation test. And then you can supplement, it'll give you the answer. And then that's what you supplement for the rest of your life. So that's that. Run pass ratio. Yes. 55-45 pass to run. 55-45. Last year they were 60-40. So they've cut into that clearly. Okay. I'm going to get Drew ready and we're going to go to the doctor. And then I'll take him to New St. Lillian. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. See you for AFR 3. I got multiple Locked On episodes for you as well. I got my BK press conference recap that I published yesterday. The PFF grade episode is live now, so go catch up. And you can actually hear me because the mic will be on for those.